Hey, what's going on everyone? Eric here with Proactive Intuition, and in this video I'm going to be answering the question, how much profit should I be making per phone that I resell, and what margins should I be operating on those devices? I'm going to be answering all of that and more in this video, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so this is a question that I get quite a bit. How much profit should I get on a phone? Well, that honestly, it depends on your level of phone flipping skill. If you're newer to the game, if you're a little bit experienced, you're selling locally, or if you're doing wholesale. All three models are a little bit different on how you should be operating your phone flipping business. So I'm going to jump right into it on the numbers that I would recommend. This is not an exact science, but this is going to help protect you if you ever get started in phone flipping, or if you're thinking about scaling to that next level. It's going to give you some good set standards that you should follow for when you're buying and reselling. So let's get right into it. If you are newer, so this is for new phone flippers. I'm just going to put PF. So new phone flippers, I recommend operating on 40% margin or $100 profit. And that might seem really high to a lot of you guys. And a lot of you might be saying, Eric, there's no way you can make 40% margin on a phone or buy everything that's $100. This is either or. So that's just a set rule. If you want to drop a little bit lower, then you can. But this is what I recommend to any new phone flippers who are buying and reselling on a local scale. The reason for this is because, hey, you are new to phone flipping, and there's a lot of things you need to look out for. So when you operate on these type of margins and this type of profit, then you are eliminating most of the risk associated with this business, because you have to be able to follow, hey, is this phone iCloud locked? Is this phone passcode locked? Is this have an aftermarket screen on it? Is there LCD spots on the phone? You need to learn these things in the business and get really familiar with it before you start operating on those lower margins. So, like I said, this is not exact. This is just what I would personally recommend. You can do whatever you want, but if you are newer to flipping phones, meaning you're doing less than $5,000 a month in sales, I would not drop below this margin unless you get more comfortable with it, okay? Now, the next level, I'm going to put this as an experienced phone flipper. This is going to be 30% margin and at least $50 to $75 profit. So, you know, a lot of people, especially on this 40%, you might be saying, Eric, there's no way someone with an iPhone 11 Pro Max is got to accept an offer of 40 or 60% of the value of their phone, right? And just so you guys real quick, I'll break down margins. If you have a phone that sells for $100, when I say 40% margin, we are paying $60 out of pocket for that phone. Total after your fees, after your shipping cost, after your cost of goods. So odds are you're buying a $100 phone for 40 bucks, right? So hopefully that makes sense to you guys when I'm talking about margins. So, because you'll have $20 roughly in shipping and fees. So if you are an experienced phone flipper on a local scale, I would recommend going from 30%, or if you can make $50 or $75 on the device. This is for people who are very experienced. You're buying and reselling locally. Maybe you're doing, over $5,000 or $10,000 a month in sales, and you know the business. You know what to look out for. You know of the ins and outs of the devices. You know how to inspect them properly. And you can operate on this margin. It'll really protect you. You can drop below this if you would like to, but that's just a good base, right? It's not an exact science. It's a good base for your business. And the third level is you're going to be your wholesale. So this is going to be wholesale. And wholesale, you have to understand, is a lot lower margin, and you're doing a lot more volume because you're getting people mailing you devices. You're buying phones from businesses. You're buying phones from buyback companies. You're buying phones from places like that, right? Like retail distributors, stuff like that. And by a general rule of thumb, I would recommend 10%. That probably seems really high to a lot of you people that do wholesale, but 10% is a good baseline. You can drop down to 6% if you'd like, but not till you're super experienced. This is not the business model I follow very well. I tend to be more in this middle section here, but I know a ton of people that make way more money than I do phone flipping, by doing the wholesale model, and it is a great avenue if you really know what you're doing and you're really wanting to scale your business. These two models here are very hard to scale. You're a solo operation. Maybe you can hire 1 or 2 employees, maybe get a storefront and still operate on the second level of phone flipping. But if you really want to scale your business, you have to be able to get to the wholesale level, and it's from there you can basically do whatever you want with it, right? So 10%, and I would still say a minimum of $40 profit per device, either or, because when you do wholesale, all of your stuff should be pre-sold. So what I mean by that, you should already have a buyer in place for every item that you buy, because if you guys understand the phone market, it goes up, it goes down, mostly goes down, so you don't know when those price drops are going to happen. So 10% is kind of risky to be operating on that low of a margin, so that's why you have to have another buyer in place when you go to sell that item. So hopefully that helps out, but this is the 3 levels of phone flipping. This is my baseline of what I would recommend for anyone who's looking to get into the game. 40% margin or $100 profit if you are brand new to phone flipping. That is either or, that is not both. Same thing with the second one. If you're experienced, you're flipping locally, you've been buying and reselling for a while, you know the ins and outs of the phones, 30% margin or $50 to $75 profit. And wholesale is 10% or $40 profit. And I know it seems really high. I'm probably not the person to ask about the wholesale stuff. I have a lot of really great friends. One of my friends, we actually do coaching every Thursday night. He does the wholesale game. He coaches and trains people on the wholesale game. So if you are interested, you can join our coaching below. It's $1. It's on the platform Trade In Tech. You do have to qualify to be on it, so you do have to be one of these two. But you're going to have Felden, who is my wholesale coach. You're going to have Chris Schroeder, who is my marketing coach, who teaches you how to scale your business with paid Facebook ads. That applies to both of these. And you're going to have me, who can teach you how to do this second part very efficiently. If that's something you're interested in, click on the link below. You can check out our coaching there. But that's all I really got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that clarified a lot for you guys when it comes to just some baselines on what you should be operating on. So 40% if you're new, 30% if you're experienced, 10% if you're doing wholesale. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see everyone in the next video.